Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly, what am I going to be? Your maledictor, I guess, today, because today we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign of playing Warhammer 40K RPGs, and today we are returning to one of Cubicle 7's two 40K RPGs, and that is Imperium Maledictum, playing an adventure called Witchly Offerings. And with me are the agents in service to House Aquare. I'll go the order that I got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight? First up, we've got James.
Hi, so I'm James, and I'm playing Octavia Aquare, the factotum of the Aquare clan.
Very nice. Next up is Sean.
Hey, I am playing Icarus, who is a family psyker.
Nice. And last, but certainly not least, it's Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Noros. He is the armsman and combatant expert.
Yes. So for those listening at home who may be joining us live, I do apologize for the late start. We had some tech issues, and then we had some catching up to do, and then we had some refreshers of what was going on. For those joining us contemporaneous with the recording, it is more than a month since we last played this adventure, and we have since had an extended break over the holidays and a extended trip to Middle-earth. So we have had a lot of things that have helped to flush our memory of what was going on in this game from our minds, but we have been trying to recall where things are. So if there is any historical or chronology issues with what happened in the previous two sessions and what's happening in this one, you'll have to forgive it. I assume it's the warp to blame, certainly not my lack of keeping diligent notes or, otherwise running a tighter ship. This is part 3 of Witchly Offerings. What do you guys recall having happened in the previous two sessions? And I have some visual aids here to assist with that.
We were attacked by a rogue Arbites by the name of Azarok, is what I have. Azarok.
Yeah.
It comes from the Calixus sector. He left the Arbites, I think, was our subsequent information. But his people, for whatever reason, remained loyal to him. He is now a roving bounty hunter, and he is working with House Fell. But all of that we learned after the fact of being ambushed by him and some ruffians.
Yeah.
Definitely left Icarus pretty bad off. I'm a little sketchy on the whole details, but I think he got beat up pretty good. I can't remember Noros and Octavia.
Noros ducked out after the first half of the fight, but you were joined by your explorator Zarkov, who helped save you. This was after you guys were meeting with well, I guess what were you tasked with when the Arbiter set upon you? Because that sort of proved to be a bit of a distraction or a sideline.
That is a heck of a question. Let's see.
So how about the House Aquare in general? What do you recall? Because for those listening at home, this particular adventure was occasioned because we had issues with the sheets in Rogue Trader. We decided to start playing Imperium Maledictum because we weren't able to go back to Rogue Trader at the time, which led us to having to see what this group of agents serving House Aquare were getting up to. In our main campaign, as a reminder, or at least the main spine of the campaign in Rogue Trader, you guys learned, or the crew learned, of a auction coming up that was going to give access to a foretelling by the witches of Footfall. Something said to be extraordinarily valuable, or at least valued by other rogue traders. There are 10 other rogue traders that are attending at Footfall at present, all of which seem to be secretly preparing to make offerings at the auction to gain access to this. And you've heard that some of those offerings are going to be extraordinary. Your ally, Captain Jerry Blitz, is also involved with this and has shared with you the time of the auction, but she has not shared with you what she is offering up as her gift to try and attend the foretelling. And everyone has been tasked with doing so, trying to find some way of identifying something that would be of value to offer the... Oh, what's his name? It's some bastardized Latin name. It is the Intercessor. That's not Latin at all. I don't know why I thought it was. The Intercessor at the Obsidian Emporial. He is the one you need to impress with the offering, or the bid. So Octavia and her retinue went out in search of that. Do you guys recall what you were initially tracking down?
Like where we were going when we got ambushed?
No, what you were doing as far as trying to find, because the ambush is something that has happened to you while you were trying to do something for the house. Do you recall what that was?
That I definitely don't know.
What did we have?
You had
Maybe
met,
a hint.
You had met with some. To be fair, I only vaguely remember what some of the stuff was. What you guys had met with was someone who. Let's see here. Someone was going to tell you about... Oh, that's not it. Oh, you guys, one of the things you were looking for was to gain transport to Hephaestium's Rest with the idea of potentially seeking out some other offering that may be advanced. You guys have the a bone from Saint Hephaestus.
Yeah.
But you guys decided it may not be. That is not technically something you own. It is something that is in your keeping, and I believe you guys decided to. It wouldn't be wise to just give that over. But you were talking about potentially trying to track down something else. You had met with someone in... Oh, you had met with one of the other... Well, this wasn't actually you guys. This was your main characters had met with that the other rogue trader. Not Annabelle, but it's something
Yeah,
Bell.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that might be in the other notes in the other game, right? That's probably the Rogue Trader game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I could... Hold up. If I know what those things are, I can make with the transmogrifier and bring those over. Look at this. Of course, with my luck, it'll have been archived by now.
That is Charlebel.
Charlebel, that's it. Yeah. Let's
In
see.
the Grace of Sofa.
Yes, that is her ship.
Yep.
Okay, where is he?
And her Croots. Her Croot Mercs.
That's right.
Diok.
Oh, here we go. Handouts. Explorer notes and crew. We'll bring that over. House Aquaria influence, which we have already. In the other game, do you guys keep notes on your character sheets, or do you have separate notes that you keep? Do you recall one way or the other?
I don't think our character... Oh, in the other game. I think I keep mine on a separate sheet. I don't know. Is there room to keep notes on the character sheet?
Yeah, under the bio.
Oh, okay. I keep it on a separate sheet.
No.
Let me see here. So the Explorer Notes and Crew, that's definitely not your separate things. When you say you keep it on a separate sheet, do you mean in the game?
No, in just on a doc.
Okay, so then I'll get out of the transmogrifier. I couldn't see anything in there. What it was, there was someone you met. There's someone you guys met with in the. Let's go to the image of Footfall here, because where are you here? Yes. For one, we get to check on our good friend, the Macro statue. The atrium is the word I was looking for.
Indeed.
The atrium is where you guys had met with it was like a hostess, and I don't recall offhand what it was you were looking for. I wonder if I scroll up if there's going to be anything useful here.
In Imperium Maledictum, you're talking, right?
I'm looking in the dice rolls, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you guys often keep notes in here.
Yeah.
There's some rules in here after the fight. Let's see here.
Yeah, we finished the fight. We did some research into the Arbite, in the bad guy.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember what the... Let's see here. I'm going over... Apologies for those listening at home. We're going to the chat archive for a second here.
Archive.
Yeah, because we can... There's a... We can see the whole... Let's see here.
Oh, yeah.
Chat archive in here, which I'm sure makes for just fucking riveting viewing.
I see it. Some charm rolls. I see some security rolls.
Yeah. Let's see here. Older.
Medicaid, security.
It's just the session before that is what I'm trying to scroll back to, because you guys will... I'll bet you guys will put things in there. That was Addersola Ket we see showed up again. Let's see here. Some correction of rules. Ooh, I see Burned Fate. So that would have been where the... Let's see here. Older.
Probably Icarus, I presume.
I think almost all of you have Burned Fate at one point or another now.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. Everyone's been...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is... probably a thing. Oh, I don't see anything, unfortunately. Shit. I don't see anything in the chat that would be a benefit. Again, for those listening at home, my apologies for the just block of text you're seeing scrolling by. So then, you did meet with someone there, and I honestly don't remember what it was that you were meeting with that person about.
I know.
I mean, it's something to do with...
Oh, Jerry? Were we going to see Jerry by chance?
The main campaign saw Jerry. If you were seeing Jerry, she would be at the Adeptus Massacus, not at in the Martyr's Endurance. She wouldn't be in the Atrium. It was something to do with more, something to do with more of the other rogue traders, I think.
Yeah, we went to one of the other families, and I was trying to make a connection with one of the middle tier people, sort of my rank. Because we were trying to pass on, weren't we, that they were we were going to try and set them up with a contract to work with Hephaestion's Rest, because the ship had been destroyed,
right?
And we were saying, well, they need a ship and you've got a ship and we don't have a ship, so why don't we put you in contact?
So Abel,
and they also,
Abel Garrett was I believe the one you were meeting with, because the two other rogue traders, other than Madame Charlebelle, that you've learned, there's Captain Croc and Feckward, and he is trouble. Feckward is the one who is, it said, trading in slaves, I believe.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
wasn't
Wasn't him, but it was Abel Garrett, which is the first fella I shared the illustration of. That fella right there. Because Garrett is from House Arcadius, an ancient clan of rogue traders.
So I think we seem to get on. Okay, so there's that, and they were after information also. They were after some cartography information, weren't they? And
Yeah.
we were hinting to them that we had a load of information. We were, because we've got the Great Aquila
Yes.
item, but we don't want to sell it because we want to keep it for ourselves. But we thought we could leak some info from it potentially instead of giving it up entirely.
Yeah. Let me double check here. Yes. Rumors of a treasure planet. Right. Okay. So make sure it's not Madame Charlebelle or Kraken Feckward. Yeah, it's definitely not Feckward. So that I think that makes sense. And it was Lord Captain Garrett that you were trying to get contact with. Did you recall do you have a name written down anywhere of who the contact was that you made with him?
I thought it was. Let me scroll up on that.
Yeah, Maxim's Gambit is the name of his ship.
Well, we were trying to talk to, indeed, Garrett. And I can't remember if we were actually speaking to him himself or we were one of his assistants.
I don't think you've met with him as of yet, but I think you were trying to get like an intro to one of his people.
I don't recall his...
Okay, so let's say we don't, for whatever actually happened at the table before, if we don't remember, then it doesn't fucking matter. So why don't we say that you've got... let's do this. There's the rules for extended tests. Oh, hey guys, I just found the rules for corruption. Don't worry, Icarus, I got you covered here. Let me just mark that quickly. Okay, good.
I was concerned.
I figured. You had that look on your face there, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that just might be the way that Icarus's face looks.
That's very possible.
All right. So why don't we do this? James, why don't you give us a D10 roll, please?
There we are. We've solved the mystery. Here we go.
Well, you're a tenth of the way there to the 100 that you require for... No. All right. Okay, so you've got 10 success levels generated thus far towards this. You're not wrong, you did track down the contact for where the Arbiter, I've already written his name down in one place and changed the page. Azarak.
Azarak, yeah.
Yeah. Where he has likely gone back to, and it is a fellow by the name of Silvanto, a fixer, who likely has been working with him, serving as a local getting him hired out to folks. And you did learn that it was House Fell. So House Fell, it seems, is taking active steps against you, which we commented on a month and 10 days ago, noting that it was unusual that he waited 6 months before taking active steps against you. And even now, indirectly. Not for nothing, they did not send assassins against you. They sent bounty hunters. What does that likely entail? Or what is the consequence of that?
I mean, I guess possibly avoiding maybe the complication of killing us and just try to keep us out of the auction would be a guess. After the auction, then, let him go or something. That'd be one speculation, that they were just going to kidnap us until the auction was over.
I think that's it, right? They're trying to kidnap us, not kill us.
Yeah. Yeah, with the auction being the reason, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that plus we don't really get along with Fell in the first place.
You guys did cause a fair bit of problems for them while the Mortis Probati was stuck in the warp.
Yeah,
so,
a fair bit of problems.
So the House Fell, let's pick up back at the Aquare enclave in the atrium. You guys are meeting up once again because everybody is, it's all hands on deck kind of situation of trying to prepare. First, do you report back to Lord Captain Quinilia Aquare that you have been attacked by House Fell indirectly?
For sure. I mean, they need to know, because more attacks could be coming. Who knows? So I think that's something we should probably report immediately.
Lady Octavia?
That would be my advice, Lady Octavia.
I think we probably should for that reason. I mean, I wouldn't want to go and fall back on Uncle, but on the other hand, he should be aware that this is underway. As you say, it's probably not directed at us personally. It's probably directed at the house.
Okay. So how would Captain Quinilia Clare react to news that the House Fell is actually taking active steps against them?
Not surprising. We'll have to be on our guard.
You know, we are in a bit of a, sorry to interrupt, Sean, we're in a bit of an, not awkward, but like we're in a bit of a situation where we can freely move back and forth between these characters at this point, which will make the folks watching to this in order, it'll make it a fucking disaster for them. So my apologies to them, but we can really, if it makes sense to step in the shoes of someone else, we kind of can do that.
Yeah.
Right. So, but in this case, let's talk about, you know what? I think I might be able to do something here. You know, there's an old saying in Roll20 GMs, you know, when you have a transmogrifier, every problem looks like, I can find it in another game solution.
There you go.
Yep. It's a cumbersome saying, but a saying nonetheless. Let's see here. Warhammer. There we go. Okay, so. I've got one page that's just called macro statue.
Nice.
Yep. So I have a suspicion.
As you should.
I wonder if this one has all the... Where is it here? Macro statue. Is what I'm curious. Oh, look at that, guys. Oh, look at this. Give me a sec here. If you guys have socks on, get ready.
They're about to be blown off.
They're about to be knocked off. So let me get rid of these fellers here for a sec. Watch this, guys. Boom!
Whoa.
There is our crew. Now, let me...
Holy mackerel.
Let me rearrange some folks here. First, let's just get the proper folks in place here. And Noros is who you play in this game, Jeff. And we are missing James's characters in here, though.
Hmm?
Yeah, there's no Desura, and there's no. I wonder if that's on the page. It's just at the bottom.
Regius. Yeah, Regius is missing.
Yeah.
He's probably just bitter and enraged at the thoughts of what we're planning to be sold off to the bloody orc.
Well, you know what it was? I think we, on the main game, I dragged all these characters separately. So, let's see here.
So a reminder, anybody that tries to strip the Mortis Probati of Wraithbone or sell the artifact is going to get some lidless eye love.
Yeah. Most definitely. Okay, so let me do this first here. Boom.
I've got a power and I'm itching to use it.
That you are. Let's go to the main page here. So let me, while I'm fussing around with this, what would Captain Aquare say about these developments?
Has to be on watch. Probably all exacerbated by the auction. We should probably use extra security. And he's probably talking really about himself, not anybody else. I mean, please. They should be able to take care of themselves. But, Lady Octavia, maybe, of course. She's an Aquare. And, of course, himself. A few more armsmen employed. Maybe keep an eye on... We should figure out where our weak spots are. If that exists. And maybe return fire. If we can think of a good way to return, everyone keep in mind a way to return the favor. If something comes to mind or if something falls into our lap, we shouldn't overlook it. If there is a way to return the favor to Mr. Fell, RT Fell.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Yeah, what should we do? Should we act against him?
We could try and get this bounty hunter and grab hold of him and either drain him of all information or
it's not a terrible idea.
turn him on his previous employer or something like that. Something that would annoy.
Icarus, after all, you haven't used your brain scanning ability, have you? No, Master. I have not used my mental interrogation power. I didn't think so, Icarus. That's sorry, I don't mean to dominate the whole.
Also, you're very handsome, Icarus. I don't know if anyone's told you that of late, but
I couldn't resist. Yeah.
What? No, it just looks like he's caught in a compactor, but
There we go.
there we go.
Yes, I think that's a noble idea, Lady Octavia, as to track him down and see what he knows. This corrupt Arbite.
Okay. Oops.
Any other thoughts? I mean, unless someone else has something other they want to throw onto the table.
Nope, I think.
Okay, what I'll do here is, this might make it a little easier, is Alessander and Godwin and his characters. And go. Jess, we'll put you right here with Desura and Captain Aquare. Well,
Aquare.
Put you right here, maybe. There we go. So you have an unobstructed view of the macro statue.
Indeed.
So then, would any of the other crew members have any questions of, or any input into what to do next here? Is it simply a matter of, Octavia, your crew should seek out the corrupt Arbites?
I guess it should be, indeed.
I mean, we need to...
Although our other characters are probably better at it. It's but we should do it. It's on us.
Icarus is ready with his mental interrogation power, though. I'm not used yet.
Okay. So what do you intend on... is there anything, you know, having shared this with the other characters, anything that, apart from seeking out this Arbites, I trust that Captain or Lord Captain Aquare and Factotum Ignatius are going to take steps of their own to take steps against Housefell, or are they pursuing other avenues at this point to get ready for the auction, for instance?
Like, have we decided what we're bidding in the auction?
Not entirely. No, I don't think we have.
No. There's some discussion of what would be suitable for it, and there's a couple of...
Wasn't that what we were doing? I guess maybe that's really what we were doing. I'm starting to think that when we were on our way, our overall goal, I think, prior to being ambushed, I think, was based on... I think the overall task was finding something. We were thinking of something to pursue. I can't quite remember what it was right this second, but I think we were working on it.
And that's why we were going to try and make the arrangements with the other house. I mean, that, you know, that's, we weren't just wanting to negotiate with them for the sake of it. I forget though where we were going to try to get it out of them, because we were going to get them that contract.
And then I believe you were going to be transporting to Hephaestion's Rest because you were trying to work out something with Jerry. I don't know why you guys abandoned the plan of using Jerry's shuttle to get to Hephaestion's Rest, but that wasn't something that you guys pursued with her.
Did we just not want to owe her, or?
I don't know if did we talk about it? I don't remember talking about it.
I don't think you did, to be honest. It might have been one of those things.
Think we did.
Because of the chaos of having to like pick up and start playing a different game on short notice, we sort of dove into this game, and I don't think we considered that you guys were going to talk to Jerry about that.
Right.
So
we could still do that.
Yeah. What remind me, what was our target? What did we decide to pursue specifically for the offering that we were going after? What did we?
I don't think you have. You guys have identified that the Keela Nimileth would be certainly an appropriate thing to bid. Potentially a segment of the Wraithbone hull of the Mortis Probati.
And again, Regius was quite forceful about how this might be a fatal decision. Go for it. I thought we were thinking of seeing if there was anything else we could get out of Hephaestion's Rest.
Yeah, I want to say we were pursuing something. I mean, I'm not saying it was a good idea, but we had something we had dawdled about doing instead. Some item, something we were going to look into, I want to say.
And was it something to do with the Emperor's Tarot that we were...
Oh, interesting.
The Emperor's Tarot most definitely is the seers of Footfall, the witches. They are, oracles of a kind, and it's said that there is no better talisman that is prepared other than the Emperor's Tarot that is fabricated at Hephaestion's Rest in its utter silence before its corruption by the Gene Stealers, of course. So yeah, that would be something that potentially would be of interest to the witches. But the question is, are the witches the one you need to satisfy, or is it the intercessor?
And we don't know much about the intercessor, right? I don't remember. I don't remember much there.
I don't think I've shared it before, but you guys know he is a very fetching looking individual.
Whoa.
Yep.
So Mechanicus, I take it?
Not Mechanicus, mechanically augmented for sure, but not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah, in the same way that like Ignatius and Godwin both have augmetics, but aren't necessarily, part of the Mechanicum.
It is our belief that the intercessor is like on the witch's staff, or
he's the one who is granting access to it. The auction is being operated by him. The Obsidian Emporial is operating this.
And what is the Obsidian Emporial, if we have any idea?
They are basically a merchant organization here. Gotcha. They are the ones who are controlling access to the witches.
Okay.
So if you wish to gain access to them, you need, please, the Obsidian Emporial. Bidding house run by the mysterious intercessors. They provide items or information too rare or valuable for a trade deal. They can make it so buyers and sellers can transact without knowing who they're dealing with.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So in that sense, then, perhaps it is the witches who will be receiving the bid. So, in either event, the something special about the can't be just a run-of-the-mill
right,
tarot deck. It needs to be something quite special.
I feel like we bandied something. Still can't remember what it was. Maybe it'll come to me. That we not that it was great, but something, because we're doing something specific, I feel, towards it.
Well, one thing you have not called in, Ignatius was initially contacted by Hephaestion's Rest because they wished to honor Lord Captain Quinilia Quare, because you had saved those refugees who were making their way through the Maw. And it was as thanks they granted you that bone. You actually haven't received any proper gift of gratitude for saving Hephaestion's Rest as of yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we seem to be doing a whole bunch of stuff for them in one way or another.
Not only did you clear out Hephaestion's Rest of that Xenos threat, we'll kind of ignore that you had Xenos help with it, but you also cleared out the hive in the Macro statue.
Indeed.
So, likewise. So that is something you could proctor potentially for who knows what else is in Hephaestion's Rest.
Yeah, I think it was something along those lines. Because it's a way of getting something for nothing, as well, or something for past things rather than having to give up.
Yeah. So as you're weighing this, I suppose, you can imagine whether, however many folks are here that you wish to have involved in the scene. Ultimately, what does, I guess there's two things that are on Lady Octavia's plate right now, and the rest of your agents. One is the burgeoning threat of House Fell to you specifically, and there is this effort that you've been making to try and cash in on the house's favor with Hephaestium's Rest to try and secure the gift. I think those two things they're not at odds, but you are limited in the time you have right now. You do have other folks who have other things they need to be doing, but what do you think your time for your 3 agents, what do you think your time is best spent doing?
Let's see. So one idea is to pursue something for the auction. Another idea is to go after Fell to try to slow him down, to return the favor. I'd throw that out.
So one thing we can do too, just on a meta, narrative kind of perspective, is we can talk about what the next couple of months of this campaign are going to look like.
Right, that's fair.
If there are other things that, like you say, James, that there's other people who are better suited to certain tasks, we can figure out what those tasks might be and what they may be doing, and then we can check in on each of them individually as we go.
I think that was me being flippant there. I think it'd be interesting to get to Hephaestion's not like me, I appreciate, but a better out of character.
But it just, that actually would help as well for us to figure out what we're, now that we've got functioning character sheets and all of them, once again, we can figure out what we want to be doing with our sessions as well. Because this particular diversion, the witchery offerings, this was intended as kind of a filler for us to see what could be done, and there's have been developments here too. I'm at your disposal, guys, as to what we're doing, next with this. Yep. So if we figure out what each of the sort of the factions not factions, but the different agents that we've met thus far, the main crew, the factotum, Ignatius's group, what are PCs called in Wrath and Glory? Are they agents as well?
Agents, yeah.
Agents as well. Okay, so the agents there, and then and they're called agents in Imperium Maledictum as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just tier 1. It's just
acolytes.
Micro-detailed acolytes.
Agents or possibly acolytes. I mean, if you're working for the Inquisition, acolytes anyway, not the other ones.
No, I thought there was a general name for creating your character.
Anyone?
Cannon fodder.
Yeah, grist.
Do we wish to win this auction, I guess, is the question. Or do we... how important is that to us?
Pretty important. We made a deal with Jerry to pursue the whole thing.
Right.
Jointly, yeah.
So we really do need a strategy of what we're possibly going to offer to do that, right?
I mean, I would say either the two low-hanging fruits seem to me that either we continue working on something else to offer, try to remember what we were, I do think, I'm not saying we'd come up with something amazing, but we came up with something before. And so we continue down that path a little bit and see if we can come up with something to pursue. Or an even easier answer right now, if we don't have any, it doesn't seem like we immediately know what that is to pursue this Arbites and see what we can learn from him, which may spur something future. I don't know if he'll know what Bell's going to offer, but something, he'll give us something, and we can possibly bounce off that to a fresh task. What's that, Octavia?
Well, I just thought, because that's just going to lead us back into this squabble with Fell, and I just want, either there's Hephaestus race to keep this thing going, or that the original crew continue to expand the reach of the house in the Coronis Expanse. And
the main crew still needs to deal with this. If you're abandoning the efforts to participate in the auction, that's abandoning what they were working on when we had to start this adventure.
Then I think that's the answer, because what's the greatest insult you can give your enemy is to ignore him, and therefore with Fel, we just get on with the main task of trying to.
You also have the advantage
option.
of the having multiple crew. So if you wish to transfer this back to the main crew can sort out, and we can go back to them after you track, whatever you want to do with his RBDs. Octavia could take it upon herself, her and the your agents could take it upon themselves to deal with House Fel, and the main crew can deal with the securing something for the auction, or alternatively Ignatius and those agents could do that as well.
Yeah, so maybe Ignatius, since they're the ones who saved the monastery, are more obvious to turn up, because otherwise, we turn up and they're like, and you are? Whereas if it's, it would need to be either Ignatius or the Lord Captain to turn up, I guess, at Hephaestion's Rest is more effective. Whereas the Arbites is more arty.
More us, you think?
More Octavia's level of stuff.
That's fine. Let's
that makes sense.
Let's go after him, and maybe it'll spur a second, a next step.
Now we can play Rough and Glory.
Okay. Then let me just move. What I'll do is, if everyone is being dismissed, I'm going to move everyone to the bottom of the macro statue, so we have focus on the thing that's most important. The macro statue. Well, also your characters, but I mean, like, the glorious macro statue of the God Emperor as well. So then, it seems as if Ignatius and his crew are going to deal with Hephaestion's Rest. The Lord Captain is going to prepare whatever and his crew are going to prepare whatever the offering is, and then you guys, what are you planning on doing?
I think we are going to pursue our attacker.
Oh, sorry, I got. What I mean is specifically, what are you going to do next to facilitate that? Sorry, I should have been more clear.
Yep.
You are on the hunt for a hunter now.
Indeed. Contacts come to mind. I don't know. Does anyone have any? What's our influence? So I think influence comes to mind.
House Aquarii influence is right there.
Oh, there it is. Let's see here.
House Fel's got a big score.
Who's that?
The House Fel, -4. Yep.
Minus important.
Let's see.
And the Lord Captain. Now, one thing we have not done, I've sort of, been pretty freewheeling with your rogue captains, the benefits you get from your patron. But one of the things that we had as a boon was not blackmailer. It was contrabandist. There's one to deal with the seedy side. Let's see here.
The liability, you mean?
Oh yeah, no, your benefit was contrabandist. Your patron has connections throughout the underworld of the Imperium and is capable of getting their hands on anything they might need. Just don't ask where they came from. It means +1 to your patron influence with infractionists, And before any mission, you may ask a patron to secure any item in Chapter 5, regardless of availability, for half the cost. At the end of the mission, your patron will supply the requested item. The Game Master may rule that the item was stolen or has some other problematic aspect. That does sound like a lot of fun.
Mm.
And I believe the liability was your enemy, House Fell. So give you +1 with infractionists. That's really the influence is the other thing that I wanted to bring up. If you have an item you wish to require or request, you can get that at the end of the adventure as well too. But now you know that this guy Silvanto is located somewhere in the Shadow Quarters. So if you wish to track him down, that would be one way to go about doing that. We have used before the not endeavors but the extended tasks in order to model this stuff, and we'll do the exact same thing depending on what you're trying to do here. And what the way that your different allies and whatnot come in is, remember, there's two things you can get from them. One of them is assistance by way of material or by staff or whatever. The other is by benefits to your role, to automatic success level bonuses from their patronage. And Lord Captain Quinilia Quarry, when you call on him, gives you +1 to infractionists. I think he may have some connections there as well. Let's see here. +0 with the Casbalica. And Octavia has that cool ability to get in temporary influence as well.
Yep. I'm introducing myself for the first time. Yep.
Oh.
So what are you thinking, guys?
Do we know of any, is there any presence we're aware of the Arbites, the actual Arbites here? None?
Not at all. Not at all. The cold trade is not accommodating to two things, the Inquisition and the Arbites. We don't want anyone looking too closely at what is being smuggled or the fact that it is being smuggled at all. Did I say smuggled? There's no smuggling going on, so there's no need for any Arbites. And if there was any smuggling going on, it certainly wouldn't be contraband Xenos technology. So no need to let the Inquisition know either.
We can
So as far as folks who would be keeping things kind of in line, though, that would be looking at powerful factions that are here. Remember, the thing that drives the profit in Footfall and out through the Maw, pretty much the largest or at least most lucrative trade in the Cronus Expanse is the cold trade. And you guys know who runs the cold trade. The Casbalica. And Vladeim Tokara.
We had a bit of a little, I don't know what you would call it, a little pact with them for a short period of time.
And Vladeim seemed to also have a finger on the Black Brotherhood, that one of the many gangs operative on Footfall as well, right? Because you remember you made allies, or at least you made friends of Calcus Kalinicus.
Yes.
If you guys don't remember him, let me assure you, he remembers you.
Yeah.
Because you had to turn over one of his members who had allied himself with the Night Bleeders.
Well, he was involved, yeah, and he was really working with the Gene Stealers, right? The cult.
Yeah, the Knights. There was at least one of the Night Bleeders that you recovered who was corrupted with Xenos afflictions. What else? There's the Spire of Intoxicants where the narco tribes of gangers live. They may know something as well. And they're not necessarily allied with the Casbalica.
But the infractionists are the
Criminals.
footful. Oh, right. So,
Yeah. Infractionists are just basically the criminals.
Category.
Yeah. So that would be the Black Brotherhood, perhaps some of the other gangs that are here. You do have allies among the Astral Knives as well, however unusual they may be. You also have allies among the Drusicans. Or that, the cult of St. Drusus who helped you in the Macro statue.
you'd think the infractionists are the ones, no? I mean, they're going to know about Bentar B2s floating around with shot up.
You know, looking at that matrixed against our influence benefits, like who we don't have a good one. We have the Astral Knives; they may fit there. That's a +1. Casbalica is +0. Night Bleeders is -2.
But the infractionists are +1, so
the Astral. Oh, we have. Do we have?
Or via Captain Quinell.
Oh, okay. Right.
Because Astral Knives, they assured you that they murdered someone to make sure he made it back safe.
Oh, that's who those guys are. Oh, okay,
The
yeah.
Astral Knives,
That's a true friend right there.
It is, yeah.
Well, maybe they would be interested in helping us. I mean, they did it without any provoking, so
You tried.
I don't think they're scary and slightly dangerous.
And odd.
Yes.
When it would be a matter of trying to track them down as well. Like when your group is known for murder, however beneficial it may be tangentially for other people generally don't want to keep you around. So it would be a matter of tracking down someone who may be able to help you track down someone, just so
True.
you're aware.
Yeah. Whereas the other ones might be a little easier. Well, how about the Casbalica or the Astral Knives? We could use our patrons, and using our patrons' influence, that would give Knives +2 or Casbalica +1. And Casbalica would perhaps be easier to find. I mean, I don't know, theoretically, a little easier. They're not quite as elusive, perhaps.
Casbalica could be very easy to find. Yeah.
Yep. And we'd have a +1 with them, with using Quinilly.
Yeah.
Invoking the name of Quinilly.
Let's do it.
Casbalica, give it a shot.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
So then, you will be meeting with, or scheduling a meeting, I guess, with Vladeim Tokara. And why don't we do this? Let's. Oh, do we want to take our? So we're at our mid session right now. We started quite late, and we did already take a break just before the session. Do we want to take a mid session break now, or do you want to wait an hour or 45 minutes, take a break then, and then to play through for the last hour and 15? What's your preference, guys?
I guess now.
Sure.
Sure.
Yep. Okay, so take our mid session break now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes, and then we'll carry on with the meeting with the Casbalica. So back momentarily.
Can we get you some food?
All right. Hey, everybody at home. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. Let's see. Hey, Julia. Okay. Let's see if we need anything else here. What I'll do is I'll bring our crew over to the atrium once again. Let's see. Here we are. And I will figure out what we are doing. Oh, everyone needs their fate points back too. I should do that. Here we go. Boy, we are so... With every holiday break, not only is it a matter of getting back in the swing of the campaigns, is purging the crammed information that we had from our holiday campaign too. So it is always a fun exercise getting back in the swing of things. All right. Now let's see. Did you swap headphones there, James? Yeah. Okay. Got Sean back. There we go. Sean's also dressed, ready to go on a fishing trawler. So,
Yeah. I'm in this. It's a window laden little turret, which is kind of cool, except that it's drafty. It is a little drafty.
I have like I work from home, so I don't I wear shorts all the fucking time. And we had a cold snap yesterday where there was winds coming in, so it was a little chilly, and I didn't want to turn up the temperature, but I didn't want to put pants on, so I put a toque on and a scarf around my neck to shake the chill while I was wearing shorts still.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. Okay, we've got, I think, everybody back. So then, guys, let's see here. I was checking with the... Here we go, patron influence. Do you recall, Sean, because you're running this more often than I am, whether influence stacks, or do you take the highest influence that you have access to?
Oh my! I don't. That's a good question. I haven't run into that.
Okay.
Influence.
It says you may use your patron's influence instead of your own. So, what the patron would give you is sort of like an in, I imagine, with folks you do not know thus far. But you've already made... Oh, wait, but the Casbalka, you're only a +0, right?
Yes.
So then it would be bandying about the name of Lord Captain Quinilia Quarry.
And of course, it's possible the patron doesn't get along. You know, we may or may not know the patron doesn't get along with any given... So it may not be what we think it is. You know,
individual implementation. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I guess a situational or specific influence of the person may trump that. Like, for instance, with the Black Brotherhood.
For example, just to pull a name out of the ambushing you in the night hat. Sorry, did I read that out loud? Sorry, hold on. Nope, never mind. Whoops. All right, then, Lady Octavia. I think we'll going to the old GM screen here. Nice.
They, what do you call it? Cubic 7 may be a little, relatively speaking, hit or miss with the bestiaries. They fucking knock it out of the park with the GM screens every time. So, why?
Love that skill list. Imperium Maledictum skill list. I use that constantly.
Oh yeah, like they're saying ditto for Warhammer Fantasy, ditto for Soulbound, ditto for Wrath and Glory. All their screens are just terrific. Lady Octavia, what are you thinking of using here in your meeting with us? Try and generate some information. I think it's probably, well, presence is not, you're not trying to bully them into that. It's rapport, I imagine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rapport.
Oh, James,
charm them, lady.
James, we actually can't hear you. Is the mic only in one of them, maybe? Uh-oh.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear him. Let's see. Is he in the... Yeah, he's in the call still. He's not muted in the call.
Not muted. Negative.
Oh, no. Have we reached the problem moment?
This is where Lady Octavia takes the stage and...
takes to silence.
I think someone was suggesting semaphore at one point.
She gives the Casbalka the silent treatment.
Exactly.
Not exactly the maneuver we were expecting, but
yeah, I would assume rapport charm.
Yeah.
presence, leadership, kind of nudges in there, but probably rapport charm.
Yeah, I think because leadership would be, he's not in a subordinate position to you.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I mean, the approach that you choose to take, I guess, would govern that. But I mean, unless you're all leading the charge against this one, person, even then, it's still probably more charm than it is leadership.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, then there's intimidation and there's deception, and I don't think we'll be doing either of those at least yet.
Under presence, you mean? Or under
either rapport deception or presence intimidation, but I think charm would be
probably the more
the way
or
to
haggle.
Go.
Depending on
yeah, a little negotiation, maybe.
Mm-hmm. James, by all means, interrupt us if you feel there's something different.
Taunting.
Yeah, I don't think you can hear us anymore, though.
Oh,
you can still hear us. No, I can't. Say something, James.
I thought. Oh,
yeah.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Yeah. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it was rapport charm.
There's a weird delay on mine.
Mine too.
You're like a poorly dubbed movie right now, but that's fine. We can hear you at least.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
It's about as good as it's going to get. There, see. Yeah. My machine spirits are not cooperating.
You know what I can do? Hold on. Let me hit reconnect. Maybe that'll resync your audio track with.
Never know.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I'll do the same. I'll reconnect.
When in doubt.
Okay.
So now I'm crystal clear.
And synced up too. Look at that.
Seemed much better.
Fantastic. All right. Although I did lose Jeff now. I don't. No, I'm kidding. I can see it. I can see it.
I could reconnect too, I guess.
No, I got you. I got you on my screen at least. Okay, so then James, yes, Lady Octavia is going to roll rapport and charm. All right, this will be a challenging test, please.
Keeping in mind that you can spend.
That is a fortuitous start to the day. Whew. A 100. Now, fortunately, I filled your fate bars while you guys were absent. So if you'd like to re-roll that.
I think I'll probably go with that. Yeah.
Amazing.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so there you go. +1 success level. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, because you're calling on the name as well. So as you're brought into, once again, this ornate, basically, picture the hall that you're meeting Vladeum in is going to be kind of like a repurposed, not throne room, but like audience chamber from a dynasty that has fallen out of favor. It's a criminal who's putting on airs effectively, although he is a quite influential individual, given that he runs the Casbalica, and the liege largely does not leave his palace. So he meets with you. Lights are kind of turned down to be a little, ominous, to add to his kind of stark appearance. When you come in, he greets you all with a formal, trying to think how we would greet you. Lady Octavia, I did not think I'd be blessed with your presence again so soon after our last meeting.
Master Vladimir, how can I pull myself from your presence and your conversation?
Your charm is intoxicating, Lady Octavia. I trust that the information which we provided before was of benefit to you.
Highly satisfactory, as always. A reliable source.
A credit to your dynasty as well. The cleansing of the macro statue was seen as a great boon for not only the liege, but all who travel through here and would do commerce.
Precisely. For the greater good and for commerce. Such things are something which can unify us all. One of the few things which can unify all the houses and all aspects.
Oh, you speak of monopolies.
Well, you have to know that sometimes the houses do not fully cooperate. There is not always a feeling of amity between them. It's merely in the moments like this with such Xenos intrusions, which, for example, it appears that another family was trying to harm myself and my retinue, attack the family. We were assaulted, no less, in the streets.
Indeed.
And we would like to return the favor.
I see. This is why your patron, the Lord Captain's name, has reached my ears. Is it? You come to me seeking an avenue for revenge.
Revenge is such a harsh word. We would largely like to talk to the individual who waylaid us and find out more on his motivations and how we can, mitigate such things, such unfortunate misunderstandings.
You have identified your attacker, then?
We have an unusual character.
Indeed.
A renegade arbiter, no less.
I see.
I'm sure you have, with your connections, such an unusual individual must have flickered across you.
Familiarity with the RPTs. There is no worse lawman, and lawmen are a detestable, dreary lot, than a corrupted one.
I would tend to agree with you, sir. And we would like to make contact with this individual.
Indeed.
We'd like to have a conversation.
Would this conversation result in harm to the RPTs?
It depends if he cooperates, I feel. We have somebody in our family who'd like to have a chat with him.
So
I think it's a matter of...
Your chat, you mean, is an interrogation.
Tomato, indeed.
These things I understand. This is of value to you, no?
Indeed.
And I may know of the individual you are seeking, or at least where he may be hiding. There was trouble in the atrium yesterday.
Indeed.
Several dead who wear the accoutrements of those who serve RPTs, though aged and dated in their markings.
I think that was a connection. That was connected, indeed.
The person who hosts these RPTs now, it is someone who is of value to me at times. Silvanto.
A name I have heard of, indeed.
You are quite resourceful, Lady Octavia. It is no doubt to me that you knew of Silvanto. I can provide an introduction to Silvanto. So long as he does not come to the same questions that you wish to ask of this Arbites.
I mean, I have no interest in harming your relationships and your legitimate business contacts. It's, I mean, that would be highly inappropriate. So it's...
Silvanto may be uncooperative. His belligerence is part of his value to me. But I trust that your charms will work on him as well. Be warned, if the Arbites that you seek is the one that I know, he is a capable and dangerous man.
I believe so.
Then
Demonstrated already. But indeed, we shall make sure that your connections with Silvanto are not harmed in any way, and your interests are not affected.
you are a credit to your house, Lady Octavia. You see he looks off to the side. He still has those strange mirrored shades on, and a servitor, a skull servitor, drifts in with in this little, like, you know, mechanical kind of mandibles or claws underneath. It's carrying some scrap of parchment, and he passes it over to you, and it has the directions for a place in the Shadow Quarter for where to find Silvanto.
Marvelous, Master Vladame. I see you were prepared in advance.
Because
Admirable,
Balaka
as always.
must we our footfall is our home, and it will be best to steward our home.
Indeed. The greater good of footfall.
I prefer the greater prophet.
Is that not the same thing, Master? Is that not the same?
There's a tiny little twitch in the corner of his frown that tells you that he was amused by that. And then he simply nods. Good day, Lady Octavia Aquare.
And good day to you, Master Kara.
All right. So, leaving there, you have now a... Whoa, where did all these folks come from? What the shit? No, there we go. Smaller, less busy room now. What, Icarus and Noros, what do you make of that? You now have an address of where to find this elusive Silvanto.
It's good news. I think Icarus is looking forward to probing someone's mind. I mean, what, you know, he hadn't thought about it in a while. He hasn't used it, but now that he's been tickled with the concept, probing is just really sounding good to him.
Icarus is just a fucking 90s alien.
How close do we need to be to him for you to achieve that?
Oh, good question.
He thinks about it.
Why don't you tell me what you think?
Yeah, he has to think about it. Let's see.
Which power is it?
Must we? Yeah.
It's mental interrogation.
Mental interrogation. Okay.
It's a telepathy.
Short range.
Short range.
Yeah. So
We're
that's
pretty close.
Yeah.
So we must physically capture him before you may mentally challenge him.
Yeah, I mean, if he's in a, I don't know, if he's in a, let's say we find him in a bar, is it possible that I just, that I try to slice in from, another nearby table? I don't know, maybe, but. Short range is within the same zone, if we're doing zones, or 12 meters.
Not for nothing. If he's unconscious, then the target takes a test with disadvantage. But if it is hostile to you, it makes the resistance at advantage. I believe you guys acquired a stunner at some point, though, so you do actually have that in amongst your gear. I think Noros might have that.
Yeah.
Oh no, you got the what is it? The Weber, right?
Oh, I had a Weber. Yeah. Noros had a Weber.
Okay.
Where's weapons?
And we have a stunner, which is Noros's fist.
Yeah. Okay. Icarus, can your oh no, you can't. You don't have stun, do you?
We can't. What's it?
There's no stun setting on your what do you call it? Your psychic smite. No. Let's
see what else is he. That's a good point. I've never. Let's see. I don't recall.
I think stun is under telepathic abilities. Psychic shriek. No.
I don't think so. I don't think I have anything. I have something to scare someone now. That's fresh.
Nice.
But no, stunning would be useful. I'm not sure what that even be right now. I'd have to take a look at the. I don't have it. Whatever it is.
Lull is a universal or a minor psychic talent. It allows you to lull someone to sleep.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Or fall unconscious. Nice. Yeah, that'd be it. That'd be yeah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So, what? Oh, is there? I do have the Inquisitors players book printed. I think that has additional powers in here. Force bolt.
I forgot about that. That's true.
Yep. Induce pain.
Induce pain.
You're a disturbing man, Nicholas.
Most definitely. So what do you guys plan on doing then? Where he is located, recall the Shadow Quarters is... Where's my description here? Shadow Quarters is where agents go to die. I mean, no, that's wrong section, guys. Hold up.
The party.
Go. Ah.
Yeah, so how do we want to take this guy and then stake him out?
I wanted to try it. I mean, either we take him into custody in a sense. We could perhaps, I mean, if it was going to be, let's say, in a place where I could get within short range, but we don't actually take him. He would get to try to resist it with advantage. Is the downside of that he would have a better shot at resisting. If he's unconscious, I get advantage. So,
and he's probably fairly competent. So, but first of all, we've got to find him. So we need to speak to Sylvanto in the first instance.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
And then I guess it depends on what terms Sylvanto gives us access, if at all.
Calling on Captain Aquari's name, this is another example where he would be considered an infractionist. So you would potentially gain a +1 success level if you so chose.
And I guess I'd be introducing myself for the first time, so I can try and...
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Good point.
So then what would you, what do you call it? How would you like to approach this? Remember, the Shadow Quarters is the more dangerous and kind of wild area. It is likely some tucked away part of, one hallway in a hollowed out asteroid where you can find him. The Martyr's Endurance crashed into the Shadow Quarters and has served as sort of a separate market. Actually, probably in the Martyr's Endurance, come to think of it. The Adeptus Amazicus is there. And so likely let me grab you guys. Remember, this is the Adeptus Amazicus.
That looks like it's almost from a game.
Almost, yeah. So, what's the approach for approaching his thing? One of the things you can benefit from is that it does seem as if he is likely someone who is used to dealing with folks. Ooh, who's that? There we go. He's if he's a deal broker or deal maker, he's used to having people come and go. So you can at least assume you can approach him. What's your strategy here?
Indeedy. How are we going to make it worth his while?
Yeah, like, are we?
The threatening him is going to go nowhere particularly, I don't think.
Right. So violence is not the correct path. We want to investigate him.
If it does go south, I could try to look in his mind for the answer we want, but we should probably try first. I mean, probing.
For an invasive psychic, every problem looks like a brain scan needing to happen. So.
Probing is also a possibility.
Yeah.
You keep your probing to yourself, you dirty little Yeah, we have agreed with Vladane that no harm will come to Sylvanto, so...
Right.
So maybe one way of thinking of it is, how do you think Sylvanto will be thinking of what you're requesting? What will his considerations be?
Well, he won't want to be seen to be a snitch, I guess. Or handing over somebody who's in his... well, who's either hired him to look after him or is working for him, or, there's some relationship there. He won't want to be seen for it to get around that, he handed up an infractionist to a rogue trader family.
Mm-hmm. Particularly one that was in service, perhaps, to another rogue trader family, too.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because that could harm his reputation with Fell quite badly.
So how do you crack that nut?
So even bribing him isn't going to really work because the same problems arise.
Right.
So we need it to have no blowback on him. And what advantage can we give him? We've got no pennies.
Right.
Relationship with the house, but
I mean, we could we could split the middle of, like, say, what if we told him that the attack failed and that our master is obviously displeased but is willing to overlook what's this guy's name? Salvanto's role if he gives up the actual attacker. Like some kind of little angle like that. Like unless Salvanto wants the wrath of a rogue trader for the foreseeable future, then give us the one that failed in the attack, and the rogue trader will look the other way in the interest of, doesn't really want to be bothered with it that much, but he has to react. You understand, the family, the Aquare have to react, this kind of a thing. And so you need a fall guy, and that fall guy is obviously the Arbite. Something like that. Something, a little give up the patsy, and the rogue trader family won't make you an enemy.
And do we even really care about the arbiters? I mean, the question, are we after the arbiters other than we want to get something on Fell, no?
Yes. What the story? Whatever he knows, we want to know. True.
Whatever the Arbites knows, what Azarak, or what Sylvanto knows?
Azarak.
Azarak.
I mean, ultimately.
But. And if that doesn't work, we probe him.
I mean, that could work, right? Start with honey, and then, if things go bad, then we bring out the vinegar.
Yep.
Makes the most sense to me.
What do you think, lady? Kind of giving a little bit of carrot, a little bit of stick?
Yes, let's try that. I think that's as good as we're going to get, I think.
Okay. So, where you would meet with him, I think, it's probably like the equivalent of kind of like a junk shop, where there's, odd, knickknacks and whatnot. The kind of stuff that would be not part of the cold trade where it would be so valuable as it would be shipped out for use and things. It's trinkets and things like that don't necessarily have any apparent value, or at least not any value to the folks in the Calixus sector. And as such, they're sort of kicking around here. He appears like he's got to be, and I mean, life in the Shadow Quarter of Footfall likely ages one extraordinarily. So he may be 20 years younger than his appearance, but he appears to be in his 70s. And he's fairly hunched over. He has, what's his name? The actor who plays Egg Fong in Big Trouble in Little China. That's kind of who I've got in my mind right now, is this older gentleman, kind of hunched over, the squinty eye. That is who is in here. And when you guys come in, he looks you up and down, and he clocks you immediately, Octavia, because your jacket, precisely who you're for, or who you're representing at least.
And I sashay in, no less. I sashay a lot.
Yeah. And you have your pet psyker and your bodyguard with you as well. So as you walk in, whatever he's working on he sets it down. You can picture you're passing some low shelving units as you walk in. And he says, well, I suppose I don't need to pretend that you're here for... And he gestures at everything around him.
I'm sure these are wonderful items you have for sale. But indeed...
It's trash for simpletons. What do you want, lady?
I need to talk to someone. I need time, and I need information from somebody who is a protege of yours, I believe. We had an unfortunate encounter with him earlier, and we need to set things right.
It's as if like he's been kicking around something in his head. The look on his face tells you need not make a roll for this, Lady Octavia. Just you can see it in his eyes. He's finally clicked who it is you likely are. Why don't you give us a persuade intimidation check, please? And this will be challenging as well. Let me make a discipline
intimidation.
Presence intimidation. Yeah, I'm making a discipline check. How about I not use D6s? Let's make it not too hard for Fong. I mean Silvanto.
Yeah, that'd be rough. Use D6 for.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll try and re-roll that one, maybe.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
That was worthwhile.
Okay. With the +1 you get from the... Well, remember, it is a contested roll, so depending on how he does, you still may come out on top here. And you do get +1 to success level because of your invoking the Aquare name, I'm assuming.
And can I also, though, use my
Coat?
air of authority?
What does that do? Can you click on that?
That's the one where I... so can I click on that? Oh, I can't click on it, but...
okay. Your coat also grants you +1 success level in certain circumstances, and this would be one of them. So you're actually at 0 success levels right now, and in this game, that makes it +1 more. First time you can make a... So that would be a separate roll, though. So you would be making a challenging check. That's not what you're doing right now. This is a contested roll. But I assume, again, we're new year. It's been a while since we've done this. Why don't you roll... Oh, but here's the thing. The +1 influence, it would be the same modifier you'd get from invoking the name. You either have your influence or your patron's influence. It doesn't stack.
Okay.
But if that's what you intend to do is make the name of yourself, I didn't hear you drop the name Aquare in your role play. So why don't you give us a challenging either presence or rapport test, your choice. And the way you're describing sashaying in, I strike it was a charm one. Oof.
My dice are going real well today.
They're going really well, but your coat does grant you +1, so that is a 0. So that would be a success. Remember, in this game, if you buy it up, so that's it. Yes, you got a +1 influence. So the influence and your coat brings that to a 0 for your intimidation. I'm going to give you one more from the reference from the Casbolica as well, though you have not yet brought them up. He's not flinching. No, he kind of looks at you. I don't have any proteges. And if I did, let's just maybe save ourselves a little bit of repartee. I say, I don't know what you're talking about. You knock over one of my shelves. I say, well, I didn't have anything to do with whatever I don't have anything to do with. You say, I'm going to need to talk to somebody, and I say, you're a smart enough lady to know. If I tell you where to find someone who's paid me to be hidden No one's ever going to pay me to hide again. And he leans on the counter. So why don't we try this again, lady? He looks over at Noros, looks over at Icarus. You want to turn them on me? You want to try and do this sensible?
Oh, we want to do sensible. So we understand each other entirely. How can it work for you?
Well, it can't get around that I just turn things over. People know Sylvanto when they come to Footfall.
Exactly why we're here. And we would not want to harm your interests and relationships.
Seeing as I certainly don't know who you are.
Oh, Mr. Sylvanto, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you're better informed than that.
What do you propose?
I stage whisper to Lady Octavia, if I probe him, he'll have an excuse.
Get away from me, mutant!
I snicker.
Sometimes he scares me more than he would scare you, Master Sylvanto.
Icarus, because of your roleplay, I think we'll give +1 success level for Aiden. So you're actually inching towards a success here.
Sometimes it is hard to keep him on a leash. He shows such zeal sometimes to serve the family.
You know the clear answer with a rabid pet. You put it down, lady. He squarely stares at Icarus.
But he is also a servant of my family, and the leader of the family himself is a bit troubled. I'm having to ask my uncle to rein himself in. He is most displeased about an attack on his family's interests.
Let me
You can imagine.
I can imagine
how he
showing
feels.
such weakness, and in a time with so much activity in Footfall.
Quite, and therefore he does not want to show weakness but strength, and but I feel that such acts of anger on people associated with the attack are unproductive.
So what do you propose then?
I need to show to him that the diplomatic approach is better before he resorts to his baser instincts. You know how he is. You've heard of his reputation.
I have. Didn't he get himself lost in the warp for a year?
It didn't improve his temper. So, we would need to find a way where we would just stumble upon this protege. Nothing to do with you, of course.
You keep seeing protege. You think him...
Associate. Client.
Client. If I had such a client. And word got around that I turned things over. You think... And he gestures at you in your coat. You think it was not known that you've come in here.
There's a question in a way of being... At this point, that you appear to have thrown in your lot with one house against another, which I think is a brave decision.
I had a client. Who his clients were none of my concern.
Oh, well, we always end up sucked in, as it were, isn't it? It's all a matter of our client serves one client. You know, you pick your choice, you pick your sides, right? It's always a matter of choices. It's so difficult to remain neutral. And so costly to be on the losing side. And so profitable to be on the winning one. Is there any chance that your relationship may come to a contractual end? And that then, you know, he is acting as an independent agent, and then you do not have to be involved in this whole sordid business.
Sylvanto is an independent agent. I am beholden to no master. Not even fancy dressed ones.
Troubling.
I think I am going to I'm going to snicker some more, get his try to get his attention, and I am going to use my power of dread presence to try to break the logjam.
So remember that use of a psychic power is always going to be obvious, right? Like there's no subtlety in this stuff, particularly because you're going to have to do things. So if that's what you wish to do,
he's going to know. Or people around are also going to know.
Who else is around? Where it's the
it's only you four that are in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It is only the four of us.
And that's fine. Like if that's what you wish to try and do, then by all means. That may not get what you. Well, let's see. Fuck it. Let's if that's what you want to do, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll strike fear into him, and the fact that I think he already knows I'm a psyker. I mean, I would be surprising if he didn't at this stage. Probably.
He called you a mutant, and aren't like
there you go.
Mutants psychers? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So do you think him making like it's not going to perpetually make him afraid of you? It'll for the duration of the manifestation. What do you think happens then?
Yeah, it's just going to stop our commercial discussions. It could be more of a definitely into the threat approach.
Right. I mean, if the frightened condition, I think would normally have him give him disadvantage in dealing with me, at least.
And
that's where I was going with it.
Right, but like, how is he dealing with you anyway? Just mechanically speaking, how do you see this advantaging you?
Well, Lady Octavia was trying to imply, or even more than imply, that making the Aquari family unhappy would disadvantage, and he didn't seem particularly impressed. So I was trying to strike fear, trying to improve the lot of that threat with, with psychic fear. That would be the thought. That was
okay. So here's the two possible outcomes. With a crit, he becomes terrified and he runs from the source of your fear in the most direct route possible.
Yep.
And the minor one is he would have advantage on awareness and intuition tests, but would have disadvantage on all tests relating to confronting the source of his fear.
Yep.
So how?
Yeah, that doesn't benefit us. Unless you try and make him talk. Personal.
Which could be what Icarus is thinking, but
yeah, that maybe, and that Lady Aquaria would say, something like, well, maybe the probe is what we do, and then I'm like, off to the side, and then he's like, maybe I do make a deal. That was kind of the thought. That was the general notion.
So maybe you can see Icarus as just. There's like the same kind of like bulging in his forehead, and there's the flash of the pre-warp kind of thing. You can see that you have at best limited control over what Icarus does.
And I'm reaching,
Icarus, calm yourself.
Reaching a little, like
get him out of here. Get him away.
Norris, maybe you can take.
I'll lead. I'll sort of gently lead Icarus so that now we're standing like about 10 feet away, maybe. Still close by, but like, you know.
But you see the little glow on the end of his reach. Yeah, the staff where his psychic focus. Guess what your focus is on your staff, right?
It's been a while. I think so.
Tomorrow's gonna be a fucking blast. We'll have 2 rounds of combat in 3 hours.
I know. It's been a while.
Oh my goodness!
It's in my picture, right? That's what I'm holding.
I think it is.
I think that's.
Yeah, I think that's the way we've been.
Probably what it is.
Okay, so that's sort of glowing on it. So he with him out of the way, he is. While Icarus didn't manifest the psychic thing, he clearly has an issue with psychers, or mutants, or both. And he looks up at you, Lady Octavia, and he says, I thought your kind hunted those.
Oh, back in our family history. Indeed. But you know how it is. You have to... the good people, the effective people, needs must. You of all, Master Sylvanto, know this.
Then...
But,
let's imagine that we're one who failed in their task that they were assigned, and one found themselves in a position of fleeing or completing the task they were set to. It would not be in service to any client to be saying where they can be found. But if I could tell a client where his target might be found, one might be desperate enough to not consider where that information came from. Eh? And then if a second time that target prove themselves the superior, well, no one would be blaming Sylvanto then, would they?
I see where you're going, Sylvanto. I think an excellent way of losing the trail. I think that's a win-win for everything. Your client gets a second chance, and I get a chance to talk to him.
And if Sylvanto was to tell a client that, where would the target be? Would have to be somewhere not an obvious. A Fenrir doesn't put its paws in a trap, you see.
Now we have a warehouse down in the docks. It's a logical place where might be found, but not.
Void Dock Alpha Row could be dangerous for anybody.
Exactly.
His one good eye is now closed as he's thinking. Yeah. There's a big risk for Sylvanto.
And yet it would wipe the slate clean with my most irritable.
I don't recognize a bill that I didn't write. But credit from the rising house Now that, Sylvanto, would...
I will certainly pass on how this success occurred. And who was responsible for it.
Discreetly.
Rogue, my family did not get where it is through loose lips. Long-term relationships in Footfall are what we're entirely devoted to.
If you die, you'll take it with you anyway.
Let me probe him.
If I die, neither you nor I will care.
Think back, Icarus.
Then warehouse and the void docks. If it looks like an ambush, a Fenrir doesn't step into a trap.
We'll need to prepare accordingly. Agreed.
Then, get the hell out of my shop.
I'll probe you next time.
And keep that freak out of here next time.
Play nice, both of you. And with that,
Kind of snarls at you, Icarus. So if you leave, he probably had that conversation as best he could in hushed tones so that Icarus and Noros, nor anyone else who's over, listening in, would hear. Why don't you give us an awareness? Is it awareness? Yeah, it's awareness in this game. Because every second game they change the fucking name of the skill. Is it awareness? No, it's perception. So it's perception. No, it's awareness.
Awareness sound?
No, it's just for Lady Octavia, actually. Sorry, Lady Octavia, awareness at routine using sound, please. Baffling choice. Call hearing. Sight, smell, taste, touch, sound?
well, I don't have any variants. It's just straight awareness.
Straight awareness at routine, please. Nice.
Ooh, okay.
You can hear, as you were talking to him, notwithstanding he's kind of agitated as he's speaking to you, you can hear someone shifting behind. So no doubt there's two things. One, someone is probably behind, hidden somewhere in here, which means they're probably listening in. And two, they're probably armed. So there probably has been some kind of weapon trained on you or someone ready to jump out with weaponry. But with 2 success levels, I can tell you it's one person. So the way that he was speaking in a more hushed tone is likely so someone else doesn't overhear as well.
Uh-huh.
So, you step outside. What do you guys do now? The Shadow Quarter is no place to linger.
No.
There are trembling, narco gangers who are sort of agitated and yelling at one another at the end of the street, slamming their heads against one another.
Let us head to our warehouse. Talk out for a... Let us go.
Okay. Once you take the necessary transport to get from the Shadow Quarters back to Void Dock, Alpha Row, when do you wish to bring Icarus? Icarus, am I right that you had a way of giving like a telepathic network?
I don't think so.
It might have been one of the other.
That's someone else. Yeah.
That's Desura, perhaps. Okay.
Indeed.
I'm not saying you brought the wrong psychic. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just saying you brought thoughts. Like,
You brought the tier 1 rather than the tier
Yeah,
2 one.
you don't have
See what
telepathic link?
Telepathic link. No.
Okay.
I do. I
Have
will be
telepathic
looking-
link? Is it not? I could probe you.
Right. I will be looking for when we get back, a 10-minute trance. A time for a 10-minute trance, though.
You definitely could do that.
For my prescience power.
Ooh.
First time.
Okay. What does your prescience power do?
The prescience power is
Yeah, maybe you'll want to be. I was gonna say you could just take a rest on the shuttle, but maybe, given the potential manifestation, you want to hold off until you're,
you consult the warp to gain insights into the possible futures awaiting you, preparing you for what's to come. During a rest, you can spend 10 minutes in a divinatory trance to examine the possible futures presented to you by the warp. At the end of the trance, you gain a number of prescience points equal to the SL of your manifest test. After you make a future test, you can spend one of your prescience points to re-roll one or both dice from the test, using the result of the new roll to resolve the test. It's kind of his own little supply of re-rolls by knowing the permutations of the future.
That's a ridiculously good ability.
It's really nice.
Well, and the difficulty is easy as well.
Yep.
Wow, that seems really broken as an ability. Like, honestly, that's...
I wasn't going to use that word.
Yeah, no, that seems...
You can only do it once. You can spend 1 point per roll.
But even then, I mean, you only spend 1 point per roll and with a fate point anyway. That's basically giving a psyker just a shit ton of extra fate points every time.
Don't judge.
They do the thing. And at the cost of a warp rating 1? Yeah, that's abusive. I mean, it's great, but that's fucking bonkers. That hasn't been errated, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
No.
Well,
No, it's not errated at all. So that's just a really great ability. Okay, then what? Let's see here. So why don't we make that roll for you? So it's an easy. What is it? Not manifestation. What is the power called?
Yes, it's divination and it's psychic mastery.
Right. Okay. And go ahead and give us a easy psychic mastery divination spell, please.
Okay.
Or, check.
I'm reminded that the modifier is before the roll with the little upper right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, with these new sheets.
Yes.
New sheets. They're probably like 6 months old by now.
Right.
Two success
2 points.
levels. Okay. Huh. Okay. Yeah, so 2 points then.
Okay.
What did you roll? You rolled a 94, though. So that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, you know what? But they're not as...
103.
It's not as versatile as... Because you can't spend it to just buy success levels. So it's not not like you're just getting free fate points. It's just re-rolls for it. So
Rerolls only.
still pretty amazing ability though. That's great.
It's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Then and now you're carrying a warp charge of 1.
Yes. Right.
Okay. So, Lady Octavia, how do you present this information to Icarus and Noros?
no, same. Well, I know you in particular, Nora, crave excitement. So I've arranged some for you.
Yes. What's the plan?
Because as I say, if the God Emperor will not come to you, then you go to the God Emperor. So we have arranged that this arbiters will come hunting for us.
Ah, I see.
And he has been informed that we will be here in our warehouse, and it will no doubt be a great temptation for him to redeem himself for his failed contract, or a second chance to gain his bounty. So we need to think about how we can set a trap here without it being too obvious. He's obviously a sharp and experienced operator, so it can't be too clumsy.
Mm-hmm. So a trap.
Some sort of trap.
I like it.
Some chance that we can be not taken unawares and stack the dice somewhat.
So what are you guys thinking? Icarus, you're present for this as well.
Well, we have a Weber. Or whatever it's called.
I
We could trap him.
would.
I think the first question is, how do we avoid him actually succeeding in his task?
I could look into the warp and watch for his psychic presence. It would give us a little more possible notice. Its proximity is not far, but it may be helpful. Soul sight would be the power there.
We can get our loyal armsman here as well.
If he detects it's a trap, he probably will not enter, I assume.
No, I agree, but they can at least be in the background so that if he turns up mob-handed, we have some backup.
You do have your labor crew here too. They're the ones who maintain the warehouse for you.
Mm-hmm. So I think they will keep the normal, the normality going.
Yeah.
I don't think they're really going to be much use against this guy and his goons. But if we can get our arbiters in there, and at least in the back room, so we have backup, I don't think they're good to spring a trap. They're not skilled enough for that. And they're more likely just to, give an alert than actually help there. But I just don't want to be that he turns up with a whole bunch of people and it's just the three of us.
That would be bad.
We can at least pull them out from the back if the worst comes to the worst.
Mm-hmm. We could arrange that for sure.
What else could we do to get him into a better position? Because it's unlikely he'll want to assault the warehouse, I'm guessing. He'll want to get us on the way in or the way out. So the armsmen aren't going to be so much help that way, but at least, there's someone we can fall back to. So if we were to be heading in or out of the warehouse, what do you think we might? This part of the plan we never got to.
I mean, we could. I don't know if he thinks that he can isolate you, Lady Octavia, and Noros and myself are nearby. Well, we're in the warehouse. Something like this. That because you are the. I imagine you are the target. So we can make it more attractive to him by having you be alone, seemingly, is a thought.
But where would you be hiding? I mean, that can work. We can scout out the area. So we probably know it fairly well, but let us check out, Noros, go check out the angles.
Oh, it's true. Noros could be in a sniper position.
I could be above and ready with the Weber. I'm assuming the plan is to take him alive. But we need to question him.
Yes, although he might not be alone, so you may have to pick off some associates.
Exactly.
Of course.
And, if we can, we should take him alive. But if we can't, then...
Well, right.
It's not entirely a disadvantage.
But then
at least he's out of our hair.
I'll need to immediately probe him during the conflict.
Exactly. Yeah.
A deep probing will have to consummate.
Every fucking plan. Chris comes up with giant block letters. Is like, and then we probe. No.
YouTube's going to demonetize this one.
We've been banned. We've been banned from everything now.
Does OnlyFans have a VTT?
So the it may not be of a concern for you necessarily, but remember, like, Silvanto is going to be. What's your understanding of what Silvanto is going to be telling? What's his name? I want to say Abraxas, but that's not correct. Azarak.
Well, he's going to tell him that we're operating out of this warehouse, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And that it might be a fine chance to take us down.
And what do you think Azarak is going to be approaching this, assuming? Knowing that he failed yesterday.
Well,
probably a stronger force, eh?
Yeah. Well, if he can find one, yeah. But probably not his original, because probably people are anxious to recruit. Hey, my last team got killed. Would you like to come and be my B team? But he's going to be angry, a wee bit desperate, because he's injured and he failed, and probably House Fell know he failed, but equally he's a pro and not stupid, so he'll be suspicious that there's a trap going on here. So it'd be a big a conflict of
he's desperate,
but wary nonetheless. So we've got to make it quite attractive, and then he probably won't be able to resist it. So probably me on my own is a good opportunity. Yes. That it'll probably be too much to a bit suspicious, but maybe enough that
I can be hiding on the roof.
Easy support. Because me on my own's too obvious. I should never do that. So I probably want some.
Go with a couple of minions, perhaps. I don't know. Is it hit?
You could call on another 10 guardsmen. Again, you have those the ones who survived the macro statue with you, as well as some replacements.
Yes. Why don't you go with a couple of armsmen? Yep. Better. And then Noros will be above.
FYI, a Weber has a range of medium, which means you can use it for a distance beyond that, but it is at disadvantage then.
Oh, okay.
Right, so it's flip to fail.
And what is medium in this game?
Medium is...
I think it's 24 meters.
24 meters, yeah.
Oh, well, it's like 6 stories.
Yeah, that is actually quite... We were measuring before. It is a fair distance.
Yeah,
A fair distance, yeah.
it's not nothing. Is all. That's all. I'm just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how tall's our warehouse? Probably like 4 or 5 stories.
No, because remember, all this is built around an asteroid too, right?
Oh,
Guys,
yeah.
I just spotted an opportunity to go back to the macro statue.
Yes, our favorite.
There we go. So if you can see where the macro statue is, Jeff,
Yeah, I see it there.
just on the left side of the macro statue's shoulder, there is a ship flying, and then below that, just next to the left side of the macro statue, there is the Void Dock Alpha Row. That is where your warehouse is located. I see you leaning in there, Sean. Do you see where the macro statue is here?
I certainly do.
That is it. So just next to the macro statue, can you see where Void Dock
This area?
Alpha Row is? Next to...
Down here?
No, Jeff, you're pointing at the macro statue. Sorry.
No, I'm pinging this area.
Oh, on the left side of the macro statue. Camera
Yeah.
right. Yes, you are correct. That right next to the macro statue is the Void Dock Alpha Row where your warehouse is located. Correct.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So that is where this is the sort of crazy built up, asteroid area you're in. It would at best be a maybe 2 or 3 story building built into the very living rock itself. We actually had, hold up, one of the first things we had on... I think I got a handout here for Void Dock Alpha Row.
Oh.
Right? Because we found that illustration in... Oh! Curses! I think it's in... the Rogue Trader game. But I could bring it in here because of the Transmogrifier. Where are you? Boom. Now let's just hope I didn't name it something stupid, because I have been known to do that. So anyway, while I'm talking about that, where are you thinking of positioning yourself? And Icarus, where are you think of positioning yourself?
How congested is the situation? Like, so we're a warehouse. Is there other warehouses? Is it kind of, is there sort of stuff around like barrels or detritus, or is it, what kind of is the layout around our warehouses? Are there places to hide? Are there
I mean, there's always going to be a hub of activity in here too, whether it's people who are servicing the thing. Sorry, I'm trying to look at this at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a question of what I actually named this. Yeah.
Meaning the neighborhood, or
the handout. I have a tendency to give handouts dumbass names, which, like, we have a handout called "Hello, Dave." I do remember that one's a what do you call it? Oh, this might be it. Let's take a look. It is! Attaboy, Madison. Here we go. Hold up. Guys, this is it. Void Dock Alpha Row.
oh,
So yeah, maybe it is. It could potentially it's taller, Jeff. Lots of places of within the Gothic architecture all around here for you to conceal yourself. And yeah, it's a hub of activity. Like the Void Dock Alpha Row is constantly people coming and going, and then there's going to be Xenos scum. There's tons of Kroot that seem to be around here as well. There are necrogangers who are trying to either beg or steal or whatnot stuff in order to purchase their illicit wares, plus people who are here on legitimate business trying to access cargo or direct it or whatnot. So lots of places to hide, either in crowds or in alcoves. They do tend to build these places like suitable for, what do they call it? Hunchback ready. So lots of gothic, gargoyles and whatnot. What are they?
Yeah.
There's a name for gargoyles without wings, because gargoyles are apparently the things with wings, and there's a name for the other thing that I don't know what it is, but gargoyles apparently have wings, and whatever the other thing is does not.
Okay.
So
didn't know that.
Doesn't matter for the purpose of this, but I could have that reversed, but someone had mentioned, and with pushing up glasses at the same time. Well, actually, it's really. Anyway, my point being is that there's plenty of place for you to hide there, Noros, if that's what your plan is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes the most sense.
Your warehouse workers are going to be doing their, regular, keeping up the regular, tasks. And Lady Aquarium. Go ahead.
I'm going to be looking for, maybe with the help of our workers, a suitable overcoat with a hood.
Okay.
That I can wear over my bulbous noggin, and then after that, I feel like I can probably blend in somewhere. And then I will need to do something with my staff, like cover it with a tarp, or a small something, and leave it kind of leaning on something. So it's not, me standing there holding it makes it fairly obvious. So wear like an overcoat with a hood on, and then have my staff covered and leaning and not holding it so presentable in such a presenting fashion as I usually do.
Okay. So I think that's probably going to give us, let's see here. What is disguise a specialization of deception?
Oh,
maybe?
Wow. Alternatively, I've actually got a new power too, a fairly new power.
Yeah.
That's psychic static. That is
okay.
Intriguing.
What is it? Can you display it in chat?
You got it. I will. Let's see.
I gotta look it up, I suppose, but
it's on page 169.
There you go. All right. Ooh. Remember, if you want to get rid of that staggered thing, you just need to hit backspace at the start of each of those sentences, and then hit the space bar to give a space, and it'll take out all those extra gaps. That's just a weird formatting carryover from the PDF.
Yeah.
Psychic static. Here we go. Shrouding yourself from detection and notice until the start of your next turn. Okay, so you can sustain it. It's only a warp rating of 1 as well.
It's a nifty little psyker stealth.
Mm-hmm. So the issue, do you remember if there's anything to do with long-term sustaining of powers?
Not that I'm aware of, no. You're just carrying the ongoing, maybe growing burden.
Yeah, because like the reason I ask is like in PF2 there's a neat thing, like you can, like rules is written, you can keep casting cantrips every round, right? So you could conceivably keep using them, but they have a thing like if you do happen to do it over the span of like 3 hours, you're going to fatigue yourself because it's just,
Gotcha.
Me lifting up the phone book doesn't make me tired. Me doing it for 3 hours will fucking exhaust me, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder. I don't know if that's the like. Let's leave it rules as written right now. So that means you could sustain both of those things for as long as you need to. Because you're currently sustaining.
What am I doing now?
You're sustaining your whatchamacallit, bullshit reroll ability. I know it's not his name, but
so much hostility. I haven't even used it fully yet. I haven't even.
I love Kev's first response. Has that been errated yet?
Exactly. It's my knee-jerk reaction for anything that looks too good. I'm like, this has got to, like, where the fuck were the editors in this thing?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's perfectly balanced.
Yep. It's not sustained. The duration says special. It says special.
On which one?
On
Bullshit
the
reroll? All right, let's take a look here. So then prescience. Here we go.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I still take a warp charge. It doesn't. I don't think that has an effect. I mean, I'm not stating anything.
You would gain the one warp charge when you manifest it, but I don't know whether, like, if it's a special duration and not a sustained duration, then I don't think you maintain that one warp charge.
I don't think I do. I mean, that's not my. That's not the way.
Because why would you? This game that we've already just established, this ability's bullshit. You also get a sandwich with it. It's amazing.
Let me use my first pression point if you don't mind.
Why don't you? Okay, then manifest if you wish to be hiding.
Let's use the fresh new stealth power.
Psychic static. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm giving you right now.
Let's get it in play. Yeah, seriously.
So you said 169?
It is on 169.
Yeah. So go right ahead.
Let me hang on a sec.
Oh, FYI, it's an easy awareness test to spot you.
Because of what he looks like, or what?
No, because it's a minor ability.
Oh, I see.
Like it is contested, but it's an easy manifestation check, and it's an easy awareness check, which means
understood.
Yeah. So
it's straight up. It's a straight up. It's in that sense. It's a straight up.
Exactly. So like, it could be. It's sort of the like the obvious sort of predator distortion kind of stuff, right?
Yes, indeed.
So are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that works.
Sure. Yeah, go give us an easy psychic mastery check then, please.
Okay, let me check. Easy. Okay, easy psychic mastery.
9 success level. That's incredible.
And I know we should have a saying it out loud. We should. I mean, we're kind of doing this, but. For our superiority team, we should be looking at, because we're about to probably have a
FYI, those you're shrouded from people. I mean, they don't register your voice or your footsteps, and otherwise act like you're not there. That isn't unique to enemies.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That means you wouldn't be able to communicate with your allies as well.
Fair enough.
I mean, they can make an easy awareness check, but are you okay with that?
And
we'll assume that.
I think
this is for when you're hiding, right? Like not for when you're.
Yes.
Okay.
Not now, right? Not the moment we're planning or whatever, right? So,
well, I do like the idea of you doing that too. Hey, where's? Oh, God damn it! He was here a moment ago.
Yeah. And that's when I start playing with their hair. And like their ears.
Oh God! Morris has a helmet that he puts on sometimes. Just if he can't see Icarus, he puts his helmet on.
There you go. Smart move.
So then, Noros, why don't you give us a stealth check, please?
All right, let's see if I can hide.
Yeah, and I think this one will be because of the favored architectural style here. Let's make this a routine check for you. Plenty of places for you to
set it at the top first, right? Routine.
Yes, set at the top first, please.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I just haven't rolled on this sheet for a while. Stealth. Oh, nice.
It's pretty good. 3 success levels. Okay, and then Lady Octavia. What are you thinking as your way? Because it's going to be a couple of days that this will be going on. I guess, Icarus, where are you intending on positioning yourself? And did you still want to make use of your psychic sight? I can't remember what it's called. Which sight? No.
Psi focus? Soul sight.
Soul sight, thank you.
The thing is that I won't be able to alert anybody. I'll have to like throw a can or something at Lady Octavia if if I'll have to throw something at her if I detect. Let's see.
Careful, my lady. You're under attack by a can. You know what power would get around that? Telepathic link.
I'm being trolled. Let's see here. I've currently got work charge at 2. Soul Sight would put it at 4. I'm wondering.
Actually, you ran a 1. That first point is actually from your bullshit reroll ability that you don't have. You don't have the charge from it, so your charge should only be at 1. Right, because it's 1 from the psychic static.
And then, but I did use the prescience, which gives me 1, right?
Right, but don't you if it's outside of combat, you can bleed that off, and you don't, because it's a special duration, it's not sustained. You don't need to maintain that warp charge.
I can, but I'd have to purge it, and purging has an automatic roll with no modifier on the psychic phenomenon table.
Isn't that only in combat?
No, it gets a modifier in combat. But out of combat, it's free. It's automatic. It is automatic, because in combat, it's not automatic. You may purge nothing and still have to roll on the table.
Yep.
But out of combat, it's automatic. You always succeed. You purge everything. It's not limited, and there's no modifier. But there's always a roll in the psychic.
I always said the psychic rules in this are amazing. I don't know.
See, I got Kevin back. So he was all pissy. He was all pissy on that bullshit reroll. But he's back now. He's back.
Hey, the bullshit reroll, does it apply to any dice rolls or only skill checks?
I think so. No, I don't know. I see what you're saying. Probably skill checks. Let's see.
When you make a test. So yeah, so it's checks. So that means manifestation rolls are not tests.
Oh.
So you're right. This game is absolutely amazing. Never mind.
Interesting.
Yeah. So then, that places Icarus. So sorry, to Icarus, to answer your question, or to follow up on my question, do you intend to have your?
No, I would bring you to page 161 in manifesting powers. Bottom right. Number 1, choose power. Number 2, make a psychic mastery test.
Yeah.
So it is test, right? So it is a test.
No, because you're talking about purgation.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant. Never mind. I thought you were making another point. Never mind.
Failing a psychic test isn't necessarily a bad thing. Getting a shit result and not being able to re-roll on a
I see.
We've seen how much fun that can be.
I thought you were saying that psychic mastery manifesting wasn't a test, and I'm like, what?
No. If I did say that, I misspoke then. No, I was talking about the purgation roll. So
I got you. Purgation.
Yeah. So that games. They're the rules fine. They got powers. Not it's a little bit of bullshit. Not full bullshit. So what?
Half bullshit.
Exactly. That name though takes a little bit longer to fit on it. So prescience is a more succinct way of summarizing all of that. What? Then Icarus, would you like to try and manifest your second sight as well?
I think that I will try to your suggestion, but it does require the table roll. I will try to purge, since I have a moment to do so, of the 1 prescience.
Now, when you purge, do you lose sustained abilities too?
You can only purge down to what you're not sustaining.
Okay, so you can, and so then you can maintain abilities and purge.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Because I think because you just simply, your floor becomes your sustaining total.
Okay.
But we can look it up, but I'm pretty sure that's true.
That implies they're continuing, right? If that's the floor.
I think it must be the case, because you've done that while maintaining abilities, while you've had it like. You cannot reduce your warp charge to below 0, or below your total warp rating for anything sustaining. So yeah, you're absolutely right. 163. So then go ahead and give us a challenging discipline psychic test, please.
Okay. Challenging. This is for purging?
Yes, please.
Wouldn't I just automatically roll in the psychic phenomena table? Or
let's see here.
I don't think I can avoid it.
As an action, no, that's when you make a successful test. It's when you fail.
Because it's out of combat. That second paragraph.
When making a successful purgation check, no purgation test is required outside of combat. Yeah, so it's just a psychic phenomena. So it'll be 1d100 plus 10, please.
Yep. Normally wouldn't do this for one warp charge. This is prior to...
No, but you want to leave on a bang, so let's see it. Let's get that perils of the warp going.
That too.
Here comes some more broken hips.
Nice!
Look at that.
14 hoarfrost. The area is covered...
You have such doubt.
With a thin layer of frost, breath fogs in the air, and an unnatural chill infiltrates past even the thickest clothing and armor. So there you go. Perfect. You're down to 1. Perfect. And then would you care to manifest your second ability?
Let's do it.
And do it. There we go.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep track of your psychic mastery with a dot on your presence with a dot on your sheet, maybe?
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. That's handy.
Getting it back in the practice for advantage tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Let's see.
Sorry, guys. Sean and I are just having our own fucking fun here now.
Seriously, it's out of control. Let's be honest. It's just completely out of control. Oh, James, you're here. Jeff, hey guys.
So, what is the difficulty of that ability?
Soulsight is my regular. I don't have any specialty, so it's 63 is my psychic mastery test.
Okay, but what's the difficulty of the ability?
Oh, sorry. It's challenging. Challenging.
And a warp rating of 2. So let's see.
Yes, indeed. Let me change my modifier up top beforehand.
Okay.
And here we go.
Soulsight. Big money.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Which means you can... How
many? I'll take it.
Yeah, how many sense creatures are in each zone within range? Pretty good.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty good.
And then, so you got 3 warp charge now. And yes. I'm sorry, Lady Octavia, we're having fun here with us. Let's have some fun with you. What is your plan for making yourself tasty bait?
Well, I guess I will. I'll get. What shall I say? 4 bodyguards. I won't take the 3 that we've retrained. I'll just get some bog standard ones and bog standard Aquaria livery.
Okay.
And I guess I will, at scheduled moments when Noros and Icarus are ready, I will make my entrances and exits.
Okay. Are you making any effort to try and keep an eye out or anything like that? Or are you trusting that your allies will do that work for you?
I will be as typically cautious. I mean, again, it would look almost suspicious if I wasn't.
Oh, definitely.
One is not an Aquaria by blundering down the street.
What is the high Gothic phrase for noonie noo, noonie noonie noo? Okay, then, lady.
What I will have is. Now, what do you think? Is my slinging my carbine too excessive, or when going around?
You're asking Kevin, not the party, right?
I think he's asking you guys.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, you were just attacked, so I don't think it's suspicious that you're prepared. I mean, you ought to be armed. I mean, I think considering he just went after you, it seems reasonable.
I mean, I'm not going to be carrying it in my arms or anything, but I'll have it slung.
Yeah, that wouldn't look suspicious. It would actually look more suspicious, I think, if you were unarmed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Personally,
I do like my las gun.
And Voidok Alpha Rho is quite dangerous.
There you go.
It's not. Yeah. All right. So then, guys, I think with all your preparations made, that is where we will leave things for the session. It's 100 XP you guys get per session, right?
That sounds true. That sounds correct.
think that's right. So then you guys each
sure
get
it's accurate.
100 XP. All right. First time back on Footfall this year. I love it.
Nice.
Then, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for part 3 of Witchly Offerings. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the game, or the campaign we're playing across 3 different games now, James is waiting for that, late 2025 Death Watch arc of our campaign. Please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where all of us are active, and we have channels there dedicated to this game, to Warhammer games in general, because we run a fair amount of them on the channel right now, as well as channels dedicated to most of the other games we run on the channel, Find a Group channels, GM discussion, sort of game discussion. There's a terrific, helpful, knowledgeable, and friendly community over there, so you are more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an incredible selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. If they don't have something in stock that you're looking for, you can put it on a want list, and they'll send you an email when it comes in. And if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code HAPPYMUSEYEAR as your discount code is listed in the description down below. You will save yourself 10% on your purchase. That's good until April 15, 2025, at which point we'll have a different one. And if you're listening to this at present, or the time of recording, they have their international shipping deal going on right now too. So if you buy a certain amount, depending on the country, you'll get free shipping with your purchase. And that is on top of the discount as well, the 10% discount. So, in addition, there is a link. What is it? That's that. Sorry, we've changed the outro since the start of the year because we're doing something different with our charity fundraising this year. So I'm stumbling through it every time I do it now. The last thing I will say is an enormous thank you to our stalwart crew here. So James, Sean, and Jeffrey, thank you so much for joining me tonight, guys. We had a couple stumbles getting us going tonight, but I'm really glad we got this crew back to the table. This was a lot of fun tonight. I'm so sorry for what's going to happen next time. But speaking of next time, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our crew on our stalwart agents of the House of Quarry are getting into on Footfall. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.